Estamos aquí con Keith Fiveson, que él es el CEO de ITESA y es un gran colaborador para llevar a cabo este cuarto Global Contact Forum. Keith acaba de tener una presentación donde nos platicó sobre el nuevo CRM en la era del análisis emocional y la voz del cliente. Keith,
hola.
Hola. Again.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Bien, muchas gracias.
Bien.
Keith, how have customers' demand changed in this time?
Customer demand has changed quite substantially. Mobility, social mobility, the ability for people to have a mobile device, an Android or an iPhone or an iPad. This is all really very new, and what it's done is it has given the power, a lot of power to people. They say information is power, and the more information you have, the more able you are to make a decision, the more able you are to contrast and compare and look at vendors and look at products and services in new and different ways. So what's happened is that consumers have changed. They're smarter, they're more knowledgeable, and they expect that you should know them better. So when people call into the call center, what we're seeing is the rise of what we call the 800-pound gorilla. This is the customer that knows everything, and they expect you to know them and give them the answers. Otherwise, they get very mad, they escalate, and there are problems. So customer demand has changed. They become more demanding, customers.
And now we have different CRM tools and always more of technology. However, the customer loyalty is declining. Why?
Customer loyalty has declined primarily because there are more choices, and what's happened is that customers have gotten smarter, but employees haven't necessarily gotten smarter. The way we bring employees onto the organization, the way we staff them has not gotten smarter. What we're doing in terms of looking at hiring people has not, changed all that much. So the use of tools, social intelligence tools, consciousness, we've talked about consciousness before, emotional intelligence tools, to really hire the right people and then help them to understand what types of customers there are so that they're much more sensitive to the customers, and also help them to understand how the systems, I got so excited, how the systems and the information available, the knowledge available in the organization can help the customer. Those are the very important factors that really are driving customer loyalty. So if you can do that right, if you can hire the right people, empower them with knowledge, infrastructure, what you have is empowered employees who can really develop the customer relationship that's required. And that's why people are not as loyal as they were before. Yeah.
And what would you say are the new metrics for CRM?
The new metrics for CRM in a very big way are around what's happening in the marketplace. So social media has really changed customer relationships. We like to call it community relationship management now, because what's happened is that customers are now looking at the way what you promise them, right? So we've got the traditional 4 Ps, product, place, promotion, and price. Now there are 3 new Ps. There's the promise, there's the performance, and then there's the perception. And the perception is really driving the overall view of the corporation. And the new metrics have been things like Twitter and Facebook and so on, in terms of really resolving customer requirements. Now, social communities are empowering. They're lowering the average handling time. They're also making it much easier to have first call resolution, because when that 800-pound gorilla calls, they already know what they want. So the resolution is there. If they are on the social community or on the digital community, they know what they need. So when they call you, they expect that you'll answer their question. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. And what about social CRM? What is that?
Social CRM is really very much more around community. So if we look at CRM, the definition has been customer relationship management. And with social, we now look at community relationship management. So we view, in our consulting practice, we view all of those third-party social media platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Pinterest and Flickr. We view those as third-party platforms, and companies are now developing their own communities. They're inviting the people from those third-party platforms to their own community, where you have video and you have chat and you have forums and you have files and you have all that. So that social community, that social CRM, community relationship management, is starting to change the way we interact with customers in a very different way, so that we are now giving them the information, we're making that transparent, and we're empowering them and the community so that when they need something, they can get it, whether or not it's online or on their social mobile app, or picking up the phone as a last resort to actually speak with someone.
Okay. What would you recommend to the organizations in this context?
What would I recommend? Well, I'd recommend that they really look at the bottom line. And at the end of the day, ROI and the bottom line are of key importance to C-levels and to the organization to stay alive. And one of the ways you look at the bottom line is empowering employees so that they're smarter, and the employees can deal with customers in a better way, and then empowering the customers so that they're smarter, and that they don't necessarily need the employees, but when they do, the employees can answer the question very quickly. Now, the way you do that is you do it by having the right knowledge systems in place and all of the right points, the right touch points throughout the engagement cycle, throughout that engagement journey, so that at each point, whether or not it's retail or whether or not it's mobile or whether or not it's chat or over the phone, each of the employees has the knowledge, they have the training to empower the customer, which then helps you to empower the financial picture of the organization. Now, we do that through a very sophisticated process of analysis and assessment, and that's quite, it's quite a deep dive into the organization, which involves workshops and studies of looking at the whole customer experience and who's responsible and what the stories are and what the emotions are that are good experiences versus bad experience, the hot points. So it's a very sophisticated look, but it requires the whole organization. It's not just a marketing effort. It's not just customer service. It involves everyone in the organization. So I would recommend that organizations take a step back, look at how they're doing, and say, maybe we don't know what we need to know. Maybe we need to do things differently. And that's what we're all about. That's what we consult on. So we help companies to do that.
Right. And Keith, you've been with us this 4 Global Contact Forum.
Yes. Yeah.
What changes have you seen through these years in the event?
Well, first of all, I'm honored to be here. It's been great, and I've really enjoyed. I go to a lot of conferences around the world, and I deal with a lot of organizations, and I have to say that IMT and the Global Contact Forum events are clearly hands down some of the best ever. When it comes to engagement and experience, you've gotten better. You know, we're in an incredible venue here in Mexico City. We just had coffee outside on the terrace overlooking the whole city. It's wonderful, the weather is great, and really the professionalism that the IMT has is incredible. You know, you do these videos, you go out, you ask people their opinions, you really are very open and warm and welcoming, and it's just gotten better. You know, it's just gotten better over the years, and it's a pleasure to be involved.